Good morning students. So today we will discuss the practical on configuration of router as a DHCP server using Cisco Packet Tracer. So this one is the Cisco Packet Tracer software. So we have to do the simulation. Now DHCP means Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So using this protocol we can assign the automatically IP address to the systems which are connected in LAN. Okay, and for that we have to configure the router as a DHCP server. So we will start with the practical. Now if you see the software, now here the different devices are there. Means for example, on the first icon, network devices, if you click, then you will get the router. So I will select simply the first router. Then here the second tab is for the switches. So I will select the simple first switch. Okay, so I have selected one router switch, and then I need some end systems. Like if you click on the second icon, here the PCs, laptop, everything is there. So I will select the PCs, laptop. Okay, and these are the, for example, end systems I will needed in the network. So means in using DHCP, what we will do, we will automatically assign IP address to these systems if you configure your router as a DHCP server. So we will connect this. Now for connection we have to click on this icon. Now as we have to connect all these pieces to the switches, so their connection is between PC and switch. So two different devices are there. So I have to select this copper straight through cable. Okay, so copper straight through cable, it is used to connect two different device, and I will select the port fast Ethernet 0. Now again select the copper straight through cable, fast Ethernet 0, connect to the switch. Now enter in the second port, again select the cable, connect the third PC, select the third port. Now we have connected all the pieces to the switch. Now we have to make the connection of the switch to the router. So again two different devices, we will select the same cable. Now click on this, and now select, we have to make the connection between the switch and the router. So I have to select the Ethernet 0 port. Okay, gigabit Ethernet 00 port. So I have selected this. Now if you see here, all these are turns green. Okay, but this arrow, it does not turn green because the router it is in shutdown mode. Okay, so we have to enable the router, and now we will configure this router as a DHCP server. So what we need to do, we will click on this router and click on this CLI. Okay, now here initially the configuration dialog is there. Now we have to configure our router as a DHCP. So initially we have to reject the default configuration. That's why we will type here no. After no, we will enter in the router, and then what we have to do, we have to type enable, because we have to enable router. Initially it is in shutdown mode. So for that we will type just a short key in. So now router, it is get enabled. Okay, now for that the next is, as we have to configure the terminal of the router, so the next command is config T. Okay, so I will type this command config T. Now we can configure our router. Now we have connected our switch to the gigabit Ethernet port. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to now initialize that interface gigabit Ethernet 00. So for that we will type the command int gig, then it is int gig 0/0/0. Okay, now we have successfully configured the interface, gigabit interface. Then type down the command no shutdown. We don't need to shut down this, no shutdown. Okay, then configure. Now what we have to do, we have to now assign the IP address to the router. Okay, so we will assign the IP address to the router. So for that we will type IP, then add, and we will assign some IP address like 192.168.1.1. Now this is the class C IP address. So what we have to do, we have to again type its subnet mask. So for class C the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Okay, and then we will click on the enter. The next command is the exit. We have to type the exit. Then we will enter into the router configuration again. And now we have to configure our router as a DHCP. Okay. So for that we need to type the command IP, then DHCP, and we have to create one pool in which the IP addresses are there. Okay, so and for that we have to give some name to this pool. So I will type, for example, the name I will give one my pool. Okay, so IP DSCP pool my pool. Okay, and then enter. Now here we have to assign the IP address to the system in the network. So for example, for that we will use the command network, and we will assign the IP address. Means we have to give the range of IP address from which it starts. Now our router is, we have given the IP address 192.168.1.1. So our end systems also has the same network ID. So IP address, it will be start from 192.168.1 dot, for example, 0, and again the subnet mask will be 255.255.2, sorry, 255.255.0. Okay, so this will be the starting address of IP address of the networks. Okay, now we need the default gateway for the communication of this device to the external network. So default gateway is nothing but our router. So we have to give the address of router as a default gateway. Okay, so default router, and what is the IP address of the default gateway or router we have given? It is 192.168.1.1. Okay, so here now we have completed the configuration of the router as a DHCP server. Now what we will do, I will enter the press the enter. You can all want to exit, you can also exit here. Okay, and now what I will do, I will now click on the PC, and it should assign the IP address automatically. Okay, so I will click on the PC, I will go on the desktop and click on IP configuration. So by default here static is there. When we choose the static, we have to enter manually the IP address now, but we have configured our router as a DHCP. If you click on the DHCP, so the address, now see, the address should be automatically assigned to the system. So the IP address assigned to the system is 192.162.1.2. Okay, because we have given the our default gateway as 1.1. So it will never select because it is already assigned. So it is never select this IP. We have not assigned the DNS server address, so it comes 000. So DHCP request successful, means when we configure our router as a DHCP server, so it will automatically assign the IP addresses to the system. Okay, you can check to the next systems also. Click on the system, go to the desktop, and see the IP addresses. Click on DHCP. Now here